What is SEO? That's an acronym for Search Engine Optimization, and it refers to techniques that we employ that help you achieve better rankings for your website in organic search results. Search engine optimization is all about making your website more visible to people who are using search engines to look for your product, brand, or services. And why is it important? Well, once you read these numbers or hear these numbers, you'll understand why. Each year, more than 2.8 trillion search queries are made on Google alone. This means that Google answers more than 88,700 searches worldwide every second. In other words, every second that your website is not indexed on Google, you have missed out on hundreds, if not thousands, of opportunities in which someone might have accessed your website, viewed your content, and bought one of your products. Hiring Grow It Media to optimize your website once developed for the search results will improve your website's ranking and thus get you found by potential customers. Calls to action will get your customers to buy, and the key to good SEO is long-term results, and Grow It Media follows industry guidelines to ensure long-standing results. Now, just switching gears a little bit, I want to talk a little bit about social media. We're going to go into more depth. Jeremy is here with me. He's our marketing manager, and he'll go into more depth of how we do this a little bit later on in the presentation. But I just want to touch also on social media. Everybody talks about it and why it's so important, but few people know really the details. Facebook has over 500 million plus active users. There are 126 million blogs on the internet. 10 billion plus tweets have been sent on Twitter since 2006. And over 2 billion videos are streamed each day on YouTube. YouTube, by the way, being the second in terms of search results and search engines in the United States, or actually worldwide. And of course, they're owned by the number one search engine, Google. The percentage of companies using social media channels and or blogs that have acquired customers from those channels is more than 40%. Social media enables calls to action and allows you to reach people where they are, and in a way that really can't be done just by search engine optimization alone. Now, I want to talk a little bit about SEO best practices. And again, Jeremy here will expand on this a little bit later on in the presentation, but successful search engine optimization does not consist of short-term actions to achieve good rankings rapidly. I would say you have a 8 out of 10 chance of getting that type of a marketing company involved with your business. They just are looking for the quick results, to show you those quick results and get that money in the door. Our process, however, is long and tried and tested. We've been doing this since 2000. Now, these regular changes that we'll be implementing are important because search engines are always upgrading. They're always changing their criteria for good rankings. So as your webmaster here at Grow It Media, we will always aim to give your users and the search engines the best possible result for every relevant search query. We will satisfy your users' needs by providing unique content and a website that works well on all devices. Now, how the search engines work, we just want to touch on this a little bit, because the bottom line is they have one goal, and that is to give the searcher the exact information that they're searching for. For a search engine to be able to display relevant results when a user makes a search query, there has to be an archive of available information for it to pull from. And this archive is called an index. Every search engine has its own methods for gathering and prioritizing content from websites. Whatever the specific tactics or methods used, this process is known as indexing. Indeed, search engines attempt to scan and index the entire online universe, and by doing so, they can show you the relevant information that you're searching for. And just to continue on, and to explain a little bit about how it works, every search engine has a program known as a bot or a crawler. These programs follow links and visit websites, and as they do so, they index website content and follow the links on the website to other sites. If your website has not been indexed, it will not appear in the search results. Major search engines like Google, Bing, Yahoo, MSN, they continually index billions of websites. But how do they know what they ought to show when you start a search query? Well, there are many practices that we employ here at Grow It Media which help search engines to classify websites. Here are two of the things that we focus upon, and really there's more, but these are the two primary elements: the website's content, and number two, links to the website. Now, when it comes to content, when search engines are indexing websites, their bots scan every one of a site's pages, and they look for the topic starting points that are covered. They also browse the code for other data, such as particular tags or markups, so that they can determine the relevance of individual pages to particular subjects. In regards to links back to the website, while search engine bots are scanning websites for indexing purposes, they also look for links to other websites. The more high-end quality inbound links that the website has, the greater its link authority. In theory, every inbound link counts as a positive recommendation for a website. However, it is not the quantity of the inbound links that plays the biggest role for the search engines, it's the quality. For example, search engines might rate a link from a trusted website like Fox News. Now, Google uses over 900 different factors to determine the relevance of a website to a search query. Here are some of the important factors that the search engine algorithm takes into account when ranking a website. Number one, the website's content. The website's structure and internal links. The searcher's geographical location, where they happen to be searching from. Mobile optimization, load times, server accessibility, and social signals. And that would be links from the social networks. Now, with a different market capitalization of 470 billion, we focus primarily on Google because pretty much everybody else pulls and copies what Google is doing. So our primary focus is going to be on Google because Google is the market leader. The company fundamentally has revolutionized the way in which search engines work, and the search engine group has a market share of over 93% in Germany and has held its position continually for many, many years. And in the United States, Google has a market share of just under 64%, followed by Bing with over 21%, and everyone else falls in line after that. In the days before Google, right around the 1990s, search engines only indexed websites and took into account factors such as keyword density and keyword metadata when determining the relevance of websites in relation to search queries. This approach was known as black hat SEO. It involved, for example, tactics such as keyword stuffing, whereby websites were deliberately created with as many keywords as possible in order to achieve high rankings in the search results. And these tactics are still used today, but not by Grow It Media. That might have been something we did back in 2000. Because today, really, they're useless and ineffective. Sometimes they can get quick results, but oftentimes in blacklisting and lost revenues and rankings. So it's just not a good practice, and it's something that we will not focus on. Here's a little bit on why we focus on mobile users. 95% of Americans own a mobile phone of some kind. The share of Americans that own smartphones is now 77%, according to Pew Research, and Apple iPhone downloads have exceeded 50 billion. Smartphones will grow at more than 30% compound annual growth rate for the next 5 years. So as you can see, we really need to focus on these mobile users. Additionally, a full 1/3 of all e-commerce customers are mobile users. 45% of consumers had visited the store more often when using their mobile device. 40.4% bought more of the store's products and services. 35.8% told a friend about their shopping experience and referred the site to their friends. And 38.8% encouraged their friends to visit the store. So this is huge. And that concludes my portion of this presentation. I'm going to turn it over now to Jeremy, our search engine optimization and marketing specialist here at Grow It Media, and we'll let him go through some case studies.
Hello, this is Jeremy. I'll be your SEO specialist here at Grow It Media. I just wanted to go over our SEO process and help you understand what to expect moving forward. First of all, I'll hop over to a flowchart right here and give you a 1,000-foot overview of our SEO process. This box right here will represent your website. The first and most important step in this process is research. We'll work together with you to research and discover the best keywords to go after and look and see who is already ranking for those keywords. Those would be your competitors in Google, and see what they're doing successfully, what they've done unsuccessfully, and learn from their mistakes and their successes. This will help give us a head start in the right direction. Once we have a clear picture of the keywords you'd like to target and your target audience, we'll begin the on-page SEO process. This is an essential process as it will allow you to be able to rank for the keywords that you're targeting. This process is very delicate because if you under-optimize your on-page SEO, it'll be very difficult to rank for things. If you over-optimize, then you are setting yourself up for a penalty, which can completely knock you off of Google completely. So it's very important that we get this correct the very first time, and we always do. We've got years of experience doing this. Once your on-page SEO is solid, we're going to begin the foundational off-page SEO layer. This will include things like a press release. A newsworthy press release is going to go out to hundreds, if not thousands, of news syndication networks all over the country, creating trustworthy links that Google likes to see and trusts. This also gives you the opportunity to get in front of actual local news stations, which use these news syndication networks to pick up extra stories to fill their newspapers and their news time in the evening. So there's a chance that you can be featured on local news stations as well. We're also going to create other branded links. These are backlinks like branded Web 2.0s that have your business name, your contact information, and a link back to your website. These are business directory listings, pictures of your products and services on image sharing sites, and more. The reason I call these foundational links is because these are trustworthy links. These are links that Google loves. These are links that will help Google to understand that your website is trustworthy, and it's going to set the stage for future backlinking. We're also going to make sure that you have branded accounts on the top 40 or more social media networks. These are like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram, etc. Even if you don't use social media very regularly, we can still utilize these to build trust. And if you decide to do a blog on your website, we can also syndicate those blog posts out to all of these social media channels, giving you more exposure and more trustworthy links to your site. Once that essential trust foundation is in place, we'll begin building what I call niche relevant backlinks and high authority backlinks. These backlinks will be pointed to your homepage, but also all of the individual pages inside of your site, helping Google to understand what they should rank for and how they're relevant to the keywords that you're targeting. These backlinks will come from blogs and other websites that have a proven track record of being highly authoritative and trustworthy. These are links that Google trusts, and these are very difficult links to come by. That's what makes them so powerful. We'll continue to build these kind of links, pointing them to all of the different pages on your site while we continue to monitor the progress and build the links to your site according to how your rankings are doing. So for example, if you're having one keyword that's having a tough time increasing in rank, it may be more highly competitive, so we may need to point a few more backlinks to it. It's extremely important here too to understand that we don't want to be over aggressive, similar to how the on-page SEO is. You don't want to over optimize, but you don't want to under optimize. The same is true for backlinking. There are a few things that we are focusing on here with backlinking. The first is trust, then authority, and then relevance. Those are the three most important factors in ranking in Google. So we've got the trust layer here, and then we've got the authority and the relevance coming from here. The final thing that we're going to work on is link diversity. We want to make sure that you're getting links from all different places, because it doesn't make sense that most of your links will come from any one particular place. For example, if you chose to go the route of just building high authority and or niche relevant backlinks, you may rank very well in the beginning. Because Google's algorithm does have a little bit of a delay, because there are millions, if not billions, of websites out there that it has to crawl and index, there are people that'll get away with building things like this. And they may rank very well for maybe a week, a month, maybe even a few months. But ultimately, they are going to fall off of Google because the Google algorithm is going to catch up with them and put them in their place. Our strategy focuses on getting you short-term success, but also, and most importantly, getting you long-term success. We want you to stay in the top 3 positions in Google for all of your keywords for the long term. Now let's take a look at some case studies. This first one was a personal injury and criminal defense lawyer in Tennessee. We started with them in May of 2014, when they were getting only 10 traffic a month, and we grew their traffic to nearly 200 per month. This next case study was in the medical niche. This is a national level campaign for a medical company who wanted to promote their medical device. We started with them in July of 2016. They stayed with us until July of 2018. So 2 years. During that 2 years, we dramatically increased their rankings and their traffic. This first image right here shows the number of keywords that they were ranking for in Google in July of 2016. That total of 640 was the total keywords that showed up in the top 10 pages of Google. And then in July of 2018, as you can see, their keyword rankings dramatically increased to 381 on the top 3 positions and 4,600 total in the top 10 pages of Google. This next image right here shows their website traffic from Google during that time. They were getting over 1,300 monthly searches at that time. And when we were done, they were getting over 32,000 monthly searches. This next case study is an e-commerce website that sold industrial machinery. They started with us in 2013. And at that time, they only had 1 ranking in the top 3 and total of 53 keywords ranking in Google in the top 10 pages. And at the end, they had 81 keywords in the top 3 and over 8,000 total in the top 10 pages of Google. This next image is a screenshot from the exact same period of time. When we started with them in 2013, they were getting 9 traffic monthly. And at the end, they were getting over 4,000 monthly traffic to their site. This next case study shows keyword rankings for an IT company in Los Angeles. This particular company decided to go the slow and steady route as they had a low budget. We started with them in August of 2018. They had 7 keywords in the top 3. And a year later, they had doubled the number of keywords in the top 3. And their traffic was 137 monthly at that time. and currently it is 400 monthly searches per month. This is just from Google Organic Search. These guys also have a Google My Business listing, which is actually getting over 2,000 monthly searches, which is why I always encourage any company who can go local to do so, because there's a lot of traffic there. This next one is also a e-commerce website. This company sold home decor. It was custom made home decor. It was very unique. I thought it was pretty neat. I started with them in September 2016. At that time, they had only one keyword showing up in the top 3. And at the end, they had 18 keywords showing up in the top 3 and over 1,600 total keywords in the top 10. This is another company that went the slow and steady route. And the traffic during that time, they started out with 333 monthly traffic. And by the end of our time together, they were receiving 860 monthly traffic. The final thing I wanted to show you is the performance reporting that we will provide you to help you understand how much traffic you're getting, where it's coming from, and what keywords you're ranking for. This is a new system that Google has created called Google Data Studio, and it allows us to make reports that pulls data directly from your Google Analytics, Google Search Console, and Google My Business. This is a real client report, so I'm going to have to blur a few details out. However, this should allow you to see the type of reporting that you will receive. This measures every level of performance in Google, from what people are using to find your site, how many people are clicking through to your site, the time they're spending on your site, the devices they're using to find your site, mobile, desktop, or tablet, as well as all of the sources of your traffic outside of Google. This information is all updated live, so you can see live actual data anytime you want. Once we create this report, I will make a video for you going over the details, showing you how to read the report, and share the link with you so that anytime you want to see live, up-to-date information about your website's performance, you can. I hope this helped you understand our SEO process and the results that we can get you. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to help. Thank you so much.